Be worth a bite. In cricket, New South Wales...
On the back straight, rain in New South Wales, but the rain at Caulfield yesterday as the horses went to the barrier for the first race was unbelievable, Keith.
Yes, it knocked down a section of the running rail and that delayed the start of racing some 40 minutes, I think, Bruce. Also, the track was downgraded twice during the day. It threw into jeopardy the big straight six in Victoria, where $5.7 million was invested. That was a successful exercise too. The dividend, $9,280 for 50 cents. So the big professionals burnt their fingers and the small punters reaped the rewards there.
Yes, I think 652 live units there, so a lot of people very happy today. Well, the Eclipse States is really the end of the spring in Victoria. Colin Hayes has had a tremendous run in the race. David Hayes had his first win. This horse is a bit underrated, I think, Fra. He's got a great Caulfield record and his run in the Moonee Valley Cup was excellent.
He finished third in the Moonee Valley Cup in record time. He went to Caulfield yesterday with the 2 starts at the track for 2 wins. He was going to be strong because he'd done the distance. As you mentioned, the Hayes camp, 7 winners to CS, and this one was the first for David.
Yes, and all he did in the betting was drift, drift, drift. It got to 9 to 1.
From 9 to 2, doubled his odds.
Unbelievable. He's a good horse, Fra. He's going to be now set for the Doncaster. Here's his win, an excellent ride by Michael Clark. He gets left in front, a fair way from home, but he just nurses the horse to the home turn and then he asks him.
Coming up the side, and they run to the 600-metre mark, Infallible, being tackled by Fra very quickly on the outside. Close in behind them, ridden along now, Star Video, and here comes Matinee Idol on the outside, and the green colours making a run, and they're packing up in the lead as they come around the home turn. Fra's taken a slight leader. Sir Bituate very wide, Matinee Idol. Over on the inside, Infallible, followed by Ready to Explode, looking for a run. Excited Angel on the outside, coming home well. Deeper on the track is Bold Alliance as they straighten up where Fra has dashed to the front, and over on the inside, Royal Snack was coming home pretty well. They're clear. Excited Angel starting to storm home as they come to the 150 where the leader is Fra. Excited Angel on the outside. Royal Snack is over on the rails, but Fra is the leader with about 50 metres left to go. Fra's going to win it, and Fra has won from Excited Angel, and Beret Rouge I think may have been third.
Excited Angel, a good run second, but Fra a bit underrated. David Hayes has had, well, a wretched spring for his own high standards early, but he's finished with a bit of a flurry.
Broken new ground there too, declaring that Fra would be set for the Caulfield Cup next year. That's only 330 days away, Bruce.
We'll have to say that he's a bit like me, tipping horses that far out. I think the reason is that in the autumn he's worried about the hard tracks in the autumn with
Jars
Fra,
up, sure.
and he's going to try and give him an easy autumn and bring him back. Matinee Idol, again, a big tip yesterday. What do you think of the horse?
Yeah, too many convictions now. I think we've got to drop off Matinee Idol, especially at the tight odds that Matinee Idol has been served up in recent runs.
Yes, he looked unlucky in the Honda, but yesterday he was set alight early, but really didn't fire. Cogitate was trapped wide all the way. Maybe it was an advantage for him. He's a good sprinter, and he held off another very good sprinter, Black Rouge, in the feature sprint race yesterday.
They're racing up to the 600-metre mark. Celerida just in advance of Primus at the outside. Brosberg the centre, looking for a run just behind them. Black Rouge deeper on the track. Cogitate, Ricaria, followed by Scornsome and Solomoth as they make the home turner. 450 metres left to go. A couple of these horses heading towards the centre. Notably Cogitate wide there with Primacy, and over on the inside Celerida, and Black Rouge is now getting through and finishing on as they come to the 250. Cogitate on the outside, about to be tackled by Black Rouge along the rails, which is finishing strongly. Then Primacy, and they're followed by Celerida. Cogitate was the leader from Black Rouge and Primacy in the final stages. Cogitate is still in front with 100 metres to go, is holding Black Rouge and Primacy, and Cogitate too good. Cogitate won by a length to Black Rouge. Primacy is third, then Scornsome, Solomoth, Brosberg.
I think it's fair to say the 3 horses there are well above average. Primacy's third, a 3-year-old on the up, second in the Ascot. Black Rouge, was seeing him in the top company, and the winner's got a terrific record, and he could come back in the autumn and win a major sprint.
I think he might too. His immediate target is the Standish Handicap at Flemington on New Year's Day, Bruce. 50.5 kilos yesterday. Nice weight after the claim for Fabian Alessi. He's won 5 of 9. He's, what did you say, above average or very good?
I think he's above average, don't you?
Yes, but the trainer, Quentin Scott, is not going further than that. He thinks he's pretty good, but nothing special.
Fair enough. Well, it's, I guess he's being a little cautious there, but the horse has won 5 from 9. I think his run in Adelaide behind Newclays was very good in the Goodwood. So, I mean, he knows the horse better than me.
Yeah, maybe might want 7 to 2 next time.
Exactly. They bet pretty good odds Diego yesterday. Now, Diego was my tip. I wasn't working with you 3 years ago, but I would have tipped you Diego in the Melbourne Cup 3 years ago after he won the South Australian Derby. Didn't win that year, Keith. In fact, he didn't quite get there. He was one of those other tips that went out the window. But he's coming good. He's only 6 and he's starting to come good.
He came here with a big reputation. He was brought across by the O'Sullivans from Matamata, wasn't he?
He was, and after he won the South Australian Derby, he was the early favourite for the Melbourne Cup. That's a long time ago. He's now trained by Bruce McLaughlin. He's still owned by the O'Sullivans. Went to Sydney, won a race there, had a couple of behind the place getter performances, but he came out yesterday. York rode him very well, and it was a terrific win. $100,000 Queensland Cup.
Wygani Drive, he's booted away from them as they come down towards the 800. Wygani Drive 3 lengths in front of Presser, niggled that in second place. Regal Performance a length away third on the inside of Skycliffe, followed by Flagstaff, starting to come out after these leaders now. Tsar Regal is next on the rails, then Charlie Mac, Centuries Ace, Midwinter, Sports Kingdom, Diego saving ground near the inside, followed by Murray's Pride, and then Erdtish, Regal Cheddar, Aussie Statesman, Wellback Sadaki, Vidguest, Knowles Gamble, Classic Alidar, Stars and Stripes last of all. They head for home in the Queensland Cup. Wygani Drive is still the leader, a length and a half in front of Skycliffe. Press has gone. Regal Performance in the middle, coming after them. Diego now into 4th place on the outside, and they're clear of Sports Kingdom. Skycliffe's hit the front. 200 metres to go. Skycliffe in front of Wygani Drive, followed by Diego. Diego's coming hard on the outside. Skycliffe in front. Diego's going to him. He's got him, Diego. Diego's going to come away and win the Cup. Diego first, Skycliffe second, Regal Performance third.
Well, I won't be tipping him for the Melbourne Cup. He'll be 7 next year, though they can win at 7. But I'm not sure if he'll go to Perth. It'd be hard to win another 3,200 so quickly afterwards. But geez, a good horse.
It was a good performance yesterday, Bruce. He had top weight, 56.5 kilos, and conceded weight to a big field. I thought that was very impressive, and again emphasised our opinion of Brian York. He is a very talented jockey.
Won't get any argument from me there, Keith. A really good ride yesterday. Interesting race in Adelaide yesterday, the Floodbird Handicap. The interest surrounding Dark Tsar, who's off to Hong Kong to run in a $900,000 race. Blue Boss and Stereo going up there for the $700,000 1,400-metre bowl. This horse goes up for the 1,800-metre invitational. Let's have a look at his performance yesterday. He's a good horse, Dark Tsar, and he runs on in the second placing against a very good Adelaide field, including the winner, Feeling.
Coming inside the 600, and Shavano miss a long neck in advance of Misty Breeze. Scorndale's after them now. Feeling biding its time behind them, has had a beautiful windbreak behind these leaders all the way down the side. He just needs a run. Then came Game Reason improving after that bad start from Rangers Victory. Scorndale wobbled around the turn, lost valuable ground. And further back then, Dark Tsar down the outside, Warmast and Double Gin. Feeling races up at the 200 and gets on terms with Misty Breeze. In fact, forget getting on terms, dashed past it. Misty Breeze is whacking away second. Dark Tsar's running home well, but Feeling is going to be too good, this son of Eamon brother. And Feeling is a well above average racehorse, scores by a couple, maybe a bit more. To Dark Tsar, Misty Breeze, Scorndale, he just didn't handle the turn at all.
So nothing wrong there with Dark Tsar, so watch for him in Hong Kong. But Japan Cup firstly, and it's on next Sunday evening, Australian time. I'm very excited, Keith. You're even more excited. You're going. But we've got 2 terrific horses, and I'm pretty sure Let's Elope's going to be at her peak by the time the race comes around, and Bart's had enough time now to get her right, I think.
Oh, we have 2 fantastic representatives, Bruce, Naturalism and Let's Elope. It's raining today in Tokyo. Let's hope that eases, but it can ease over there quickly, and there's Naturalism now.
They said that the flight took a bit out of him. Richard Freeman went over. It's a big thing for a horse. You imagine that they can become very traumatised and suffer from anxiety. They lose weight. The immediate word on Naturalism was that he hadn't eaten as well as he wanted to, but he is settling, and if he reproduces the form that he showed here, Keith, particularly I think in the Turnbull Stakes and the Fian Stakes, he's a magnificent horse, and at a mile and a half he's going to be so strong at the end of that race, and you must give him a chance. And you must give the mare a chance too. Her run here was absolutely brilliant when you consider she'd only had a 1,200-metre race and a match race going into this. I thought Greg Charles was a bit caught here. He got caught wide and had to go early. She's a super mare.
That's Let's Elope in the white cap, about to be claimed on the outside by the winner, Superimposed. She's an excellent mare. What is needed to win a Japan Cup is a combination of staying ability and acceleration. Naturalism has that. He's done the distance and beyond twice. He won the AJC Derby, and he, in some quarters, was called unlucky in the Victoria Derby.
Well, here's the lineup, Keith, and it's a magnificent field. From that first page, I think User Friendly's the one. She won the English Oats. She also won the St Ledger. She was second in the Arc. Dear Doctor's form just lately not so good. Dr Devious has been everywhere. He raced in the Kentucky Derby, came back and won the English Derby. He's now owned in Japan. But I think she's the one from the first page.
Oh, without doubt, she's the best bred filly you'd ever see. She's by an English Derby winner who was sired by an English Derby winner, Shirley Heights. and her grandsire, Milreef, won the Derby in 71. She is
The
something
pedigree's
special.
there, isn't it?
She'll run favourite for sure.
So 2 English Derby winners in the race were Quest for Me, and then we see our 2 great horses, Let's Elope and Naturalism. I might disagree with you here. I think Let's Elope at her best is better than Naturalism. I think that she's the better of the 2 chances. I think she's the one.
Yes, well, I
You
will
disagree?
disagree. Mahono Bourbon might be the best of 8 Japanese runners, Bruce. He's had 7 starts for 6 wins. His only defeat was in the St Leger at open age. He won the Japanese 2,000 guineas and the Japanese Derby. But I'm declaring myself, Bruce, this is the corner that I'm in, the naturalism corner. And the jackets will be worn in Japan by the Australian jockeys and trainers.
So Mick Dittman and Darren Beeman, the 2 jockeys.
They're the 2.
Keith, have a terrific time.
Thanks, Brucey.
I am envious.
Thank you.
It'll be great, and make sure that you put that little bit on Let's Elope for me.
And today's turf tie, something special from the Japan Racing Association.
I had a
An
feeling
international first for Sportsworld, Bruce.
Had a feeling it might be, Keith. Safe trip, Keith, and we'll look forward to your report next week, and then your thoughts on that great Australian victory the week after.
Great.
Fingers crossed. Keith Illia on his way to Japan for one of the great events in sport. 160,000 people there next week for the Japan Cup. We take a break. Bong bong after this. Another race meeting with a difference. Traditionally is centred around Melbourne and the Melbourne Cup. But this week, another traditional race meeting returned after a 6-year absence. The Bong Bong picnic races, once banished because of bad behaviour, was brought back, but as Tim Wharton discovered, this time the locals made sure they could handle the crowd.
Bowral, a small town nestled in the southern highlands of New South Wales, a place where life is relaxed and at ease. But this week, Bowral was abuzz, for there was word that Bong Bong was back.
Morning, you got your ticket? Welcome to the races. Have a good day. Thank you.
As the cars and people filed onto the race course, there were smiles aplenty, the excitement evident as they welcomed back their famous picnic races. In 1986, it had all come to an end. 100 years of tradition washed away through a downpour and a giant crowd. The locals had had enough of hooliganism, and the biggest picnic race meeting in Australia was cancelled. 6 years later, the Bong Bong picnic races are back, but this time the locals are determined there'll be no repeat of the disaster of 1986. With only members and guests invited, the crowd this year was limited to about 3,000. And while the weather was against them, nothing could dampen their spirits.
We're all mad, but we're having a lovely time.
It's good to see him back, mate. We'll have a good time.
It's really, really good. I've been coming since I was a young child. My family's very involved in it, and it's something really to be proud of to have them back again.
And they're off. Off and racing in the first of the day on Bong Bong Cup Day, and Trouble Out Boy jumped fairly well.
As the hoofbeats once again thundered on the Bong Bong course, it was a relief to the locals. They'd worked long and hard to see the race meeting return.
How hard was it to try and get the Bong Bong picnic races back again?
Well, at first it was impossible, and then it became possible, and then it became probable, and then we've got it.
As the punters toasted the day, it was a celebration. 2.5 years of sweat and strain, and more than $50,000 going into the restoration of Bong Bong.
I'm pleased for a lot of other people, older committee men that have put a lot of time in, a lot of work in. You see that they've really put more in than I have in some ways, and I feel very pleased for them.
Special victory now, 25 to 5 each way.
As the feature event of the day, the Bong Bong Cup, approached, the betting ring was packed, the punters eager to back one of the 9 runners. At 3:30, the horses and jockeys were ready. Every vantage point was full, everything set for the Bong Bong Cup. It was appropriate that the winner of this year's Bong Bong Cup was a local horse called Illustration. After all, the event was aimed at the local community. And if the organisers have their way, Bong Bong will continue, but it will never go back to the bad old days. Having lost it once, the locals want to make sure they never lose it again.
It's a tradition and it's known probably nearly worldwide. If you say, I've been to Bong Bong, oh yes, we've been to Bong Bong. But when they say it now, we want them to say, well, yeah, that was fine, it was a wonderful day.
Bong Bong is back. In fact, John Schreck, the chief steward for the AJC yesterday, said to Mick Dittman after a steward's inquiry, Mick got off the inquiry, but he said, I didn't take into consideration the Japan Cup or the Bong Bong races for that. So Bong Bong in elite company there. A break. One man, I don't know if he's been to Bong Bong, but he wishes he was at Cardiff Arms last night, joins us after the break. Tony Daly.